Okay, so let me go through question number 3. Now we'll go into the details of question number 3. Okay, question 3. Fantastic. Let me share the screen for question number 3. So it says that convective heat transfer data are often reported as a heat transfer coefficient H, defined as Q dot, that means heat per unit time, heat flux or the heat flow rate. So Q dot is equal to H, that is the convective heat transfer coefficient, times the area A multiplied with delta T. Delta T is some temperature difference. Okay, so the Q is the heat flow. It has the unit of joule per second, that is watt. Okay, H is the heat transfer coefficient. H is the convective heat transfer coefficient. It has the unit of watt meter to the power minus 2 watt per meter square per kelvin. That's all, right? That is the surface area. This A is the surface area. A, and this delta T is the temperature difference. In Kelvin. Then they are saying then this the dimensional form of H called the Stanton number. The dimensional form of H is called the Stanton number. Okay, is a combination of H, the H which is the convective heat transfer coefficient, fluid density, specific heat and flow velocity, and the Stanton number St. Stanton number is, if I call the Stanton number as St, I am calling it as, okay, I will call Stanton number as St. Fine. So the Stanton number St is called the Stanton number. Stanton number St is functions of different quantities: H, rho, Cp, specific heat of the fluid, and the velocity v. Okay, then they are saying, starting from the hypothesis that Stanton number St, the functional dependence of St, let's say consider as h to the power a, rho to the power b, Cp to the power c, and v to the power d. then which among the following is true? Okay, is that the question is very much clear to all, I guess. Okay, now let me go into the details. So as you can see that I just wrote it, I just framed the question in this session. So I have wrote that the heat flow rate can be expressed in terms of the heat transfer coefficient multiplied with surface area and the temperature difference. Each of them has their individual units and their dimensions. So let me first of all we will see the dimensions of each of these parameters, whether it's h, whether it's a, whether it's delta t, okay, cp, rho, and all these things. Okay, so as you can see that there is a way of representing the heat transfer coefficient in terms of non-dimensional terms, which is the Stanton number, and this Stanton number is a function of heat transfer, and this Stanton number is a function of heat transfer coefficient, it is function of rho, it is function of the specific heat and the velocity. It is the functions of all of these quantities, and they are giving, let's say, this functional dependence is of like this form. Okay, this is that functional dependence. So instead of doing all this, so what is the heat transfer, what is the dimension of h? Let us first calculate the dimension of h. So dimension of h is equal to, so what is joule per second? What is joule? Okay, let me erase it. So okay, for your benefit I can do this in this way, that unit of h is watt meter to the power minus 2 Kelvin to the power minus 1. Fine. So this watt is joule per second inverse, and this joule per second inverse, joule is the Newton meter, Newton is ml t to the power minus 2 Newton, meter is another L, and then t to the power minus 2. Fine. This is m is the meter to the power minus 2, so this is of L to the power minus 2. Fine. And this is theta to the power minus 1. So what in total I am getting? Total, if I do that, that is coming as m will be there, okay, L square and L to the power minus 2, there will be no L t, it will be t to the power minus 3, and I guess theta to the power minus 1 will be there. So this is the dimension of row. You already know m l to the power minus 3. M l to the power minus 3. Dimension of Cp, that also you already know. Dimension of Cp is the dimension of Cp. Yes, dimension of Cp is L square t to the power minus 2, L square t to the power minus 2, theta to the power minus 1. L square t to the power minus 2, theta to the power minus 1. And the dimension of v, velocity, equal to L t to the power minus 1. Am I right? I think we have wrote all the dimensions at least correctly. So it's m t to the power minus 3, theta to the power minus 1 is the h. Then rho is m l to the power minus 3. This is L square t to the power minus 2, theta to the power minus 1. And this is velocity is L t to the power minus 1. Okay. So the Stanton number st is equal to, as they wrote, this is h to the power a, okay, rho to the power b, cp to the power c, and v to the power d. So what is the dimension of Stanton number? It's a dimensionless quantity. Okay, it's a dimension. It's let's say pi 1, the dimensionless term 1. Okay, so it has the dimension of m to the power 0, l to the power 0, 2 to the power 0. Okay, and as well as the theta to the power 0, because the temperature is also involved. There are four independent dimensionless, like the 4 independent dimensions. Okay, m, l, t, and theta. And m, l, t, theta is there. And yeah, so in the right hand side, in the left hand side, the dimensions is 0. Now let's see what are the dimensions in the right hand side of this equation. So let us then put all that in this one by one. So as I see this term, so I'll just put here all these things one by one. So it will be h is m t to the power minus 3, theta to the power minus 1. Okay, m e to the power minus 3, theta to the power minus 1, dot to the power a. Rho is m l to the power minus 3, the whole raised to b. Okay, then cp is l square t to the power minus 2, theta to the power minus 1, the whole to the power c. Okay, and this is l t to the power minus 1, the whole to the power t. Okay, so L t to the power minus 1 m L square t to the power minus 2 theta to the power minus 1 power to the power c. So let me then put all that. So this is equal to, let me do the calculation, m to the power a t to the power minus 3a, okay, theta to the power minus a. M to the power b, L to the power minus 3b, okay. So now I'll write it in a single bracket on this thing. So m to the power a plus b, L to the power minus 3a minus 3b minus 3a, L to the power, sorry, L to the power minus 3b, then plus 2c, sorry, minus 3b plus 2c plus d, am I right? Then there is t to the power minus 3a minus 2c minus d, and then you have theta to the power minus a minus c. Is everything right? Yes. So now, but in the right hand side, so all the exponent has to be 0 for Stanton number, as the Stanton number is a non-dimensional quantity, so all the exponent must be 0. So that means from here, so we have a plus b is equal to 0, okay, we have minus 3b plus 2c plus d is equal to 0, we have minus 3a minus 2c minus d is equals to 0, and we have minus a minus c is equal to 0. These we can write again as 3a plus 2c plus d is equal to 0, and these we can write it as a plus c is equal to 0. Fine. Okay, so let us see which options is correct as per this thing. So we have a plus b is equals to 0. Hello? So we have a plus b is equals to 0, minus 3b plus 2c plus d is equals to 0. So it's, I guess, the last option is the one which is correct. Sorry, everything should be 0. So a plus b is equal to 0, minus a plus b is equal to 0, minus 3b plus 2c plus d is equals to 0, minus 3b plus 2c plus d is equals to 0, then 3a plus 2c plus d is equals to 0, then a plus. So the option number A is correct. Okay, the first option itself is correct. Now the second question, what they are saying, the question number 4. So the question number 4 says that derive standard number if it is proportional to h, the heat transfer coefficient. Okay, so what they is giving that the as we have know that Stanton is equal to h to the power a rho to the power b. Okay, before doing that, let us calculate what are the values of a, b and c. Okay, so how can you calculate the values of a, b and c? Like a, b, c, d, there are 4 options are there. Okay, so see, from the last 2 equations, a is equals to minus b, a is equals to minus c. That implies I can say that a is equals to, so a plus b is equal to 0. That implies b is equals to minus a plus c is equal to 0, c is equal to minus a. Okay, and then we have, so b and c are the same. So from here we can say that b is equal to c. Okay, and one more thing is that if we add, okay, so let me further, this is, let's say, equation number 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4. So 2 plus 3 will give me what is that giving? Plus 3 sorry 2 minus 3. Is the same thing, right? A plus b is equals to 0. We'll again giving the same thing, a plus b is equals to 0, I think. However, if I add the both, plus 3, then what I am getting, okay. Or instead of doing that, we can do one simple thing. So we already know that b is equals to c. So if I putting b is equals to c into 2, so what it will give, putting b is equals to c into 2, minus 3b plus 2b plus d is equals to 0. That implies b is equal to d. Okay, so I can see that b is equal to c is equal to d is equal to minus a. That's the correct thing I am getting from here. Okay, now what I am given, that let's say I have given that the Stanton number is, let's say, proportional to h. This is given. Okay, so that means a is equal to 1. Thus b is equal to c is equal to d is equal to minus 1. So the Stanton number St is equal to h to the power 1, okay, or h into rho to the power minus 1, cp to the power minus 1, v to the power minus 1. That implies Stanton equal to h by rho cpv. Am I right? Yes. So that's the correct definition for the Stanton number. So it's a very interesting question, as you can see. Okay, so yes, so please go through it once. I'll just go through it once. Now from here, as you can see that I got the 4 equations, equation 1, 2, 3 and 4. Then if you do some manipulation, you can easily see that b is equal to c equal to d equal to minus a, and it is given that a is equals to 1 by implicit, by as they told that Stanton number is directly proportional to the convective heat transfer coefficient h. So that implies a is equals to 1. Now b is equal to c equal to d equal to minus 1. So the Stanton number is this. Okay, h by rho cpv. Let me go to the next question. So it's a very interesting question, I guess. Yeah. So this is the beauty of dimensional analysis, that you can extract some beautiful physics just by analyzing the dimensions. Okay, so let me go to the next question. Next is this. Here it's saying that the pressure drop per unit length delta P by rho in a porous rotating duct depends upon average velocity v, density rho, viscosity mu, duct height h, wall injection velocity vw, and rotation rate rho. The dimensional analysis gives the following expression for the problem, okay, where f denotes a general function. Okay, so dimensional analysis, from the dimensional analysis it says that dimensional analysis, it says there's this delta P by rho, delta P by L into H by rho V square is functions of so as you can see that I wrote that so delta P by L is equals to pressure drop per unit length into H by rho V square. That is a non-dimensional it is a non-dimensional term which is the non-dimensional like pressure drop you can say, and this term is the Reynolds number of the flow. Okay, this is RE. This term is, see, the rho into H is the velocity and V is this is the tangential velocity, I guess, rho into H. Okay, the wall injection velocity is V, average velocity is V, and rotation rate is H. So it is the velocity scale in this way, and this is also a non-dimensional pi term. This is also dimensionless. And what are they saying in the questions? So they are saying that which options is correct. So okay, so they just as I can see from the questions that they just wrote one non-dimensional term as a function of the other. So one pi term is written as a function of all other different pi terms, and it is correct. One can write the any other non-dimensional term in terms of other non-dimensional term coming out of the dimensionless analysis. Okay, so all of these options are correct. Okay, so here there is a mistake. Delta P by rho, it will be multiplied with H by rho V square. This comma will not be there. Okay, so it will be like this or like this. So here you can write all the possible combinations. One non-dimensional, like the pi 1, if there are four non-dimensional quantities, pi 1, pi 2, and if there are four non-dimensional quantities, pi 1, so let's say I have pi 1, pi 2, pi 3, pi 4, dot. Okay, so I have some functions of all those non-dimensional quantities is equal to 0. That is also correct. Okay, I can write that the different non-dimensional terms like pi 1 is some function of pi 2, pi 3 in this way. I can write pi 2 is some other functions of pi 1, pi 3, pi 4 in this way. So in this way I can write, like I can express one non-dimensional quantity in terms of others. That's all. So here everything is right.